Namaskar. I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive session. You are watching us on PME Vidya, channel number 8 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. This session is meant for our learners of class 8 specifically, and the subject that we are taking up today is English. We are going to learn about chapter number 3 of your textbook titled Glimpses of the Past. Well, past is important, it does matter. And why? And what all glimpses are we going to witness here in the session today? We will learn more about it in detail. If you wish to participate, please give us a call on 8800440559. Our email ID is dth.class8@ciet.nic.in, and on our YouTube handle NCERT Official, you can always go to the live chat box, put in your questions, suggestions and feedback there and get in touch with us instantly. Well friends, for this session we have invited our expert in the studio. I'm joined by Miss Priyanka, who is Assistant Professor from University of Delhi. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Thank you ma'am for having me here for this wonderful session.
Well, pleasure is all ours, and we both are accompanied by our Indian Sign Language interpreter Miss Sonal. Sonal, namaskar and very warm welcome to you too. Ma'am, glimpses of the past, it's a very beautiful topic and I want to understand what exactly it is. Is it some kind of poem, a story, a fiction, an anecdote? What exactly it is?
Ma'am, usually in literature or English we read poem, fictional stories, drama and the stories which have words, but here we are going to see story through pictures.
Okay.
Pictorial interpretation of the incidents and events we are going to do, where we are having lot of pictures and we have to see what's happening there. So it's
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the past that you're referring to is about what?
The past is not the very recent week. The past is from 1757 to 1857, before the War of Independence that we fought, like how the war started and why. And what we did. So how, why and what, that we are going to see here. And very interestingly ma'am, there is a collage in front of me, you can see, and just see the collage is not the very recent people that we have seen. These are the people who played a very, very pivotal role in the freedom struggle. And if you see, can you identify any two of them?
Yes, of course I can, and this is a beautiful collage of pictures, and I can see there is Mahatma Gandhi, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Subhash Chandra Bose, and ma'am, if you can just put it there, I think our viewers will see it simultaneously
and
with me.
And we have Sarojini Naidu,
Rani Lakshmibai is there, and of course Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru.
Yes ma'am, and these all are the names who played a very, very significant role in the India's freedom struggle.
That's right, and not to mention not to forget Lala Lajpat Rai and Lal Bahadur Shastri.
Yes, ma'am. And how and why this chapter? So how is you can begin it from 1757, which is the very significant year in the history, and 1857 we all know a war, like a revolt started from Meerut, a very small town in Meerut. There are people who revolted against East India Company.
Yes.
And what is East India Company, ma'am? So there is name India in that company, but that company is formed here in India to exploit us, to take our valuables to Britain and other countries that are occupied by Britain. And ma'am,
those were actually Britishers who came India in the pretext of trading.
Yeah.
And eventually they ended up colonizing us.
Yes. And why they succeeded, it's like in our country we have provinces. So one small province, one large province, and there are kings and princes everywhere. So what happened, it's all greed that divide us. If it belonged to me and I am keeping it, it's okay. But it doesn't belong to you and you want this with the help of someone else. then you and I will be separated and someone else will have this.
Wow.
So that's
Yes.
what happened in India, that
Divide and rule happened,
divide
that's
and rule
how.
happened, and we only allowed others to come between us and to take things from us.
So, ma'am, what are we going to learn in this chapter?
We are going to learn that if something belongs to us, we should fight for that, and if we are fighting, we should fight in a right manner. We can't start any fight or any revolt overnight.
Yes.
It's a process. Like it started in 1757, it took a very peak in 1857. Still till 1947 we are the colony of British. So it's a 200-year struggle that we are talking about, and ma'am, we all say like Rome is not built in a day, neither the independence. So it took like 200 years to us to get independence, and independence from British rule, from oppression, from many things like sati pratha.
Yes.
So we are going to talk about that also here. So we are going to talk a lot in this chapter. Let me start by introducing you that what is there in Glimpses of Past. So it focused upon the period from 1757 to 1857, detailing how East India Company exploited internal division and social issues within India to establish its rule. And it covers the economic exploitation through heavy taxes and social problem like child marriage, untouchability, early attempts at reform by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and growing dissatisfaction among Indians, which culminated in the revolt.
I think Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a founder of the Brahmo Samaj.
Brahma Samaj, and he like eradicated Sati Pratha from
Yes.
India, and also he is the one, ma'am, who used to say like every cow is of different color, but milk of cow is same.
Yeah.
So we all might be different in religion, culture, food practices and the places, but we all want, what we all want is our country to be free, and that desire to be free and to desire to unite each other, that is a very good example, ma'am. Like we all have seen, like you might be having different purpose
Yes.
of life, I might be having different, but we all are united by humanity. But at that time when we are colony of British, so humanity is okay, but what we all are united by is independence.
Yes, you're right, ma'am. Today we have different desires, dreams and ambitions.
Now, because now we are independent.
Yes, but at that time, everybody's goal was to get freedom from the British rule.
Yes, and and their operation as well. And what they are doing is they are just levying the high taxes, ma'am. You know, like it's our land. We are cultivating, we are the one who is taking care of, we are the one who is growing this everything, and then we are the one who is paying tax to them.
Yes.
Land is ours, crop is ours, labor is ours, and this thing, to sell our thing we are giving tax to them, to grow our thing in our own field we are giving tax to them, to use our own resources we are giving tax to them. And that's how they are collecting tax, and they are making us poor, and they are taking things from us. Why we call India as a sone ki chidiya? Because we have the land which is very much resourceful, so that we can grow any of the thing, any of the crop. And ma'am, also there was salt tax earlier.
Yeah, and ma'am, of course, India was so rich in resources that every other trader from America, from Western Europe, from Europe and other European countries, they wanted to come to India. Columbus actually started for India, but he accidentally discovered America.
Yes.
Right.
And ma'am, why this is Glimpses of Past? Like anything that we see in picture, like some stories, some glimpses of our trip, some glimpses of our marriage, some glimpses of the birthday. Glimpses is a word that shows a short story about something, a short memoir of something. So this Glimpses of Past is a short memoir for us, but it's not that short, it is of 200 years.
Wow.
And here we can see in the picture that there is a lady holding a paper and singing something. She is like, "Oh my countrymen." And that is a very popular song that recently in August we heard that song, "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo."
Yes, it's from the movie Hakikat, and they say when she sang it, it brought tears to the eyes of our first Prime
she
Minister.
is none other than our favorite Lata
Lata Mangeshkar
Mangeshkar.
ji, yeah.
And ma'am, she's actually, you know, when she was singing that song that time, just after independence, everyone in the crowd was having goosebumps.
Yeah, even
And
Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had tears in his eyes.
talking of Jawaharlal Nehru, ma'am, just look at the picture and see Nehru ji is there
Yeah.
with his white cap, and Shastri ji and Indira Gandhi, Rani Lakshmibai, and lot of people in picture too.
True.
So this story of the very first picture and the second picture tells us that we have these people working for independence, we have people who are singing for independence, and you know what this song remind me of, that songs are also a patriotic feeling that people used to pass from one place to another place. And you won't believe, ma'am, chapati, roti revolution is there.
Okay.
People are sending rotis from one village to another village to say that they are united.
Wow.
If roti is not coming back from some village, it means they had the notion that they are not with us. So what Indians did, because they can't send messages, because if they send messages, they will be killed by Britishers. So then they applied like lotus and roti they used to send, and kamal ka phool and roti. That's why we are having kamal ka phool earlier in our flag. You might have noticed that.
No,
yeah.
no. All right.
And roti like structure, Ashok Chakra is having roti like structure also. So that's how we can decode that how this very minimal things played a very pivotal role over there.
This is a very interesting trivia that you have shared with all of us.
Yes, ma'am. And you know what are the major events of the past? The martyrs. And the martyrs are like the one who fought for India's independence. Over there we have a lot of names like we have seen in picture. And the company's conquest, British rule, Ram Mohan Roy, whose contribution is actually very significant.
True.
And then oppression and dissatisfaction. Why dissatisfaction among Indians happened, ma'am? Because they felt oppressed. Oppressed, economic oppression is there, political oppression is there, and above all social oppression is also there.
In their own country, and
In
that too by
their
the
own
foreigners.
country, by foreigners, within their own people also, because there are few people, for the sake of, you know, being favorite of the Britishers, they try to follow their norms.
Also, you know, there were so, like as you mentioned, taxes,
Yes,
and you know, some silly, I would say, guidelines like in hotels and restaurants they used to write Indians and dogs are not allowed.
Not
So that
allowed.
was so humiliating and
And
embarrassing.
also earlier, ma'am, in armies and other forces, what was the rule? Officers sit in some other lobby, and the people who are called airmen and the soldiers sit somewhere else, and they are not allowed to cross the gate. And now also, for your surprise, you can notice that the soldiers stay in some other banquet and officers stay in some other banquet, because we have the notion of army from them only.
Yeah.
Earlier we just used to have the kingdoms and the people fighting for the king, but later on the disciplined army, the disciplined officers, and obviously officers are Britishers. That's why they had those rules, and now we are continuing with those. So what I believe is we should, you know, just everyone who is in defense should be equal.
Well, I'm
There
sure
should be no officer
Yeah.
and soldier quota.
Well,
That's
I'm sure
what I believe.
that you know, we can expect many more reforms in various systems in the
Yes.
country. And this is another very interesting picture. You mentioned Raja Ram Mohan Roy
Yes,
again and
ma'am.
again.
And in fact, I noticed one thing also, that after all this revolt and revolution, still our like soldiers are wearing those shoe, that UK pattern shoe. It's having some you know, cut at the front and some like chino at back. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I noticed it because once I was going through a place which is having lot of shoe, and then I asked what is this, so he told me that it's a shoe basically worn by the soldiers and the officers in defense, and it's UK pattern shoe. And I was like, what is UK pattern? Then he told me about that. So it's okay. That is a glimpse of the past. And Ram Mohan Roy, ma'am, the very famous person who is a good teacher and who fought against Sati Pratha and child marriage, ma'am. So Sati and child marriage both are very much prevalent in earlier times in India. In fact, child marriage is just vanished in recent years. Earlier, ma'am, if you see, there are girls, the concept of child marriage is the one who is below 18 years,
Okay.
or 18 years age of vote, age of rational thinking, and before the age of rational thinking, how someone can choose their partner, how, and after marriage in India, like you have to take care of the house, you have to take care of the kids, you have to take care of entire family.
Yes.
So that is being eradicated by Ram Mohan Roy. And also Sati Pratha. And what happens in Sati Pratha, if your husband is dead, you are bound to sit on the fire of the husband, and you will be burnt alive.
My goodness.
And that is being eradicated by him. Such a good reform, ma'am, because in both the reforms you can see a female is being suffered.
I think he saw something like that in his family, and he was such a sensitive person and a well-learned scholar.
Ma'am. That's why he
abolished
and he's a
the
good
system.
teacher as well.
Yes. Okay.
So, and then the operation. In the operation by British, we can see that peasants have the taxes, and also the import duty from one place to other place is too high. And ma'am, you know what is the import duty? You yourself is growing, and if you want to sell it to other place, you have to give charges to Britishers. And if you want something from other state, you have to pay charges of that as well.
And I think peasants were also forced to grow indigo.
And ma'am, what happens in indigo cultivation? No, it just take out all the nutrients from the soil. After indigo, you can't cultivate any normal crop in the field, and the field will be useless and barren then.
Right.
And that's why they revolted, and the fight for freedom in 1857, that shows that independence is now required. We don't want the oppression, we don't want the separations, and we don't want you to rule us. We want our land back, we want our people back. Why our people back? It means there are few Indians who are working with the Britishers, and they are working against our country. So we want them also back, because again Indians have that heart that our people are our people, at any cost we can take them back.
Actually in 1857, because it's also called Sepoy Mutiny, not everybody was united at that time, so that's why that revolt actually failed, couldn't succeed.
Yes, ma'am.
But then after the struggle, they realized the importance of coming together.
And also what is the main factor that united them was when they got to know that the bombs are having the flesh of cows and some other animals, then we Indians united. And before that we are like, I am from this religion, I am from that religion, so and I am from this place, I am from this place. The language hegemony is there, and then religion hegemony is there. Then after that, because cow is being worshipped by every Indian, despite of the religion and language, so that is the uniting factor over there. And ma'am, we have seen lot of pictures. Can you tell me, like, the first spark of the fire of revolt comes from which picture? Like, let me show you some pictures.
Sure. We can have some more pictures.
This is India, which is having like this line is telling us that this area is of East India Company, this area is of East India Company. And here you can see this area is very much fertile and this area is very much fertile. Why? Because of the presence of the rivers. And this all is captured by East India Company. And ma'am, look at this map. These are the provinces Rajputana and other provinces of India, and later on it's this. Everything governed by East India Company. Earlier there are small provinces, small Indian provinces, and ma'am, after that you can see that how it all came in line. Everywhere where arrow is there, 1857 revolt started. And that is the sign where we got to know that India is now united, and everywhere in our country is revolt. Like on small places, on larger places, people in number of 10 or in number of hundreds are coming on the roads to revolt against East India Company. And ma'am, here is one quotation. Can you tell me that who is the scholar who said this? cow are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinion, but the essence of every religion is same.
Right. I think you just mentioned, is it Raja Ram Mohan Roy?
Yes, ma'am. And also, you know, our kids should see that the great speaker, the preachers and our freedom fighters, whatever they say, if we try to learn from that, like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Gandhi also says that we should focus on need, not on the greed.
Greed, yes.
And Nehru also. So, like we should see that what our great scholars have said, and we should remind others also of that, and we should remember that whatever lines they are saying. So it's exercise also for our kids that mention what Rani Jhansi is saying.
Absolutely. And we all know about the love of Pandit Nehru for the kids, you know. So especially I would like to mention here that this place where we are sitting right now and doing this program is dedicated to the children of India, because Pandit Nehru loved children. So I think,
and ma'am, he used to write letters to Indira from jail as well. And Indira's name is Priyadarshini, so letter to Priyadarshini. In fact, in 10th class we are having that chapter as well.
And those letters were compiled and formed the autobiography of Pandit Nehru.
Nehru. Yes. And ma'am, child marriage and untouchability, we have seen that these are the things that are prevalent in our past, and then all our leaders and our reformer united together to eradicate all the things like operations, child marriages, untouchability, and people who are suffering from economic disparities, social disparities, political disparities. And also ma'am, there is one thing that people are very much discontented because of just one thing, that we are not able to live our lives our way. Our culture is being you know, just shadowed by British culture. We are forced to you know, apply their rules. We are forced to live like them. If we are eating by hands, they used to call us uneducated. If we are not wearing proper uniform because we are poor, then they used to call us the beggars and the rags.
They made sure, they made every effort that we forget our own culture and adopt theirs, and they introduced their you know, systems here in the country.
Here in our country, and still we are practicing that, though till limit we have just, you know, applied our own system. So ma'am, like the chapter was actually interesting, and it's a long chapter. So before wrapping up, I'll just ask you to create a comic story of your own with your favorite pictures, like a picture of a little girl or a picture of a lady. So can you make a story in 10 seconds from three pictures in your mind?
3 pictures in my mind,
like cup, remote and this laptop.
Well, of course, so I have this cup and this remote and this laptop, and I can see there's a girl who is actually studying and learning this online chapter.
And then she'll be a great officer later on.
Absolutely.
Or a great teacher.
Yes, in one picture I can make her see she's studying hard, taking the online classes,
and having her cup of coffee.
Yes.
And having her online classes. Yeah, very true, ma'am.
And in another picture I can show her sitting at some office table, having the same coffee mug and the laptop, and sharing the glimpses of the past.
In her old age, with the same coffee mug, with the same laptop, she is going through the glimpses of her life.
Yes, absolutely. So now we do not have enough time. We have to wrap up the session over here. Beautiful glimpses from the past. Well, past definitely help us learn from our mistakes and guides us, motivates us not to repeat them. And please make sure that you read the chapter. If there is any problem that you still encounter, do write to us. But for this you know, session, ma'am, I would like to thank you. And there are certain keywords that you probably would want to say. Yes, let's take them very quickly.
The keywords are operation, dissatisfaction and revolt.
Great. So these keywords are very important and the essence of the chapter. And here comes a national flag. With this, I would also like to thank my ISL interpreter Sonal for her support. Thank you so much, Sonal. Thanking my entire team for this session. Now let me give you quick updates regarding the textbooks. They are available on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website for grade 4 and 7, and simultaneously take a quick look at the schedule. In a short while from now, you can watch another session that will be on Samajik Vigyan, followed by our session on online training where we are talking about instructional designs, and at 5 p.m. we will end the day with Sahyog. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you. Namaskar.